follows a trail of blood that threatens to consume his past, present, and future. He must unravel the mystery of the God Butcher. In the distant past, Thor follows in the wake of murdered gods across space. In the present, the Thunder God discovers a cave that echoes with the cries of tortured gods, himself among them. And, thousands of years from now, the last God King of Asgard makes his final stand against the God Butcher's legions. Good day, readers and listeners, and welcome to this, another instalment of Tom's Rapid Reviews, where each week we take a few minutes to read out a review of a book written by one of our fabulous Surrey Library staff. I give a bit of background and context surrounding the book and its author, and it's all done in the hope that you might be inspired to try reading or listening to something new. So, without any more ado, let me introduce you to The God Butcher, Volume 1 of 2013's Thor, the God of Thunder graphic novel series. Marvel Comics' Thor is well known to the public at this point, having starred in several solo and Avengers movies. But the character has existed since 1962 and is of course inspired by Norse mythology. The character's long history, coupled with the fact that Marvel puts out Thor comics almost every month, is why the full title of this volume of work is so long. The full title, in fact, is Thor, God of Thunder, 2013, Volume 1, The God Butcher. It takes a lot then to stand out amongst this wealth of existing stories, but this take on the character from Jason Aaron and Esad Ribic is well regarded amongst critics. This, as well as familiarity with some of Aaron's other work, is why I chose to give this volume a try on the Libby app. So, let me tell you exactly what I thought of it. This review comes from yours truly. This volume follows a bloody adventure on a scale that is grand even by the standards of superhero comics, as three versions of Thor travel through time to take on an antagonist known as the God Butcher, who has menaced Thor throughout his life, or lives, and is intent on wiping all gods from existence. The story builds nicely over 5 issues, collected in this volume, growing in scale and stakes until all of godhood is at risk. Aaron writes Thor compellingly, the 3 versions being individually young and brash, old and weary, or middle-aged and stoic, but questioning his place in the universe as he stares down this existential threat. Hribic's painterly art is gorgeous and matches the grand scale well. Between the author and the artist, a dynamic tale of determination and good triumphing over a complex evil is told. I'd like to give Thor, the God Butcher, 4 out of 5. It's very good and the sort of series I could picture myself rereading in a few years' time, which is relatively rare for me. I read The God Butcher, as I said, using the Libby app, where it is available as an ebook. As such, I thought today's recommendations would be good for graphic novels which you can try on Libby. Remember, the Libby app is available to all Surrey Library's cardholders. Sticking with Thor initially, there are 22 different graphic novels on Libby starring Marvel's Thor. If you're excited for the next film, some of its inspiration is likely to come from Thor 2015, Volume 1, The Goddess of Thunder, which follows a mysterious woman who takes up the mantle of Thor when the original one becomes unworthy. Or if you want some classic Thor stories, you could try the work that first won me over to the character, and that is Thor by Walter Simonson. 2 volumes of work collecting some of the work of the legendary comics writer and artist Walter Simonson. If, on the other hand, you're interested in trying some of Jason Aaron's other comics work. You could try his creator-owned stuff, or any of the multiple characters he's written for Marvel, including but not limited to Thanos, the Avengers, and Doctor Strange. So, there's plenty on Libby for people like me to enjoy. But there's plenty on there for everyone, in truth. Try the app now on your handheld device or on a web browser, which is how I chose to read Thor. You might be surprised what you find. For now though, that's all from me. Stay safe, borrow books, and I'll see you next time for more of Tom's Rapid Reviews.